Hello, and welcome to a new Let's Play. That was a bit awkward. I wanted to have that iconic GameCube intro there, but, well, I guess it got part of it. Oh, wait. That's in a different key! All along I thought it was... Which I guess it is, but I thought it was this key. Different key. Very Celtic sounding soundtrack. Man, this game has a really nice soundtrack. It's been years. As you can tell by the fact that it says 2002, 2003, this is the original GameCube version. Not the HD version, because I don't know that. This is Welcome to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker. Hey. So iconic. What? I still got the save files from all those years ago, have I? This one confuses me. Is this? I don't think my brother ever played this game, but oh wait, I remember. I can't remember actually. I mean, it's 2009. That's like nearly 10 years ago now. My God, look at these times, man! Holy shit! How do I get rid of these? Shit. Is there a way to do anything about that? Yeah, I can. 3 hearts? Let's actually have a look. How much progress did I make on these? 3 hearts. Wait, what? Oh, I think I get it. Maybe it's because, like, that's... Oh, wait, that one's different compared to these ones. This one must be, like, a post-game one. What I think happened here with this one is my brother probably started the game. I think, I'm assuming it's years. And then I played further through it. I don't have a clue. Oh, that one's definitely made progress. Let's go over this one. Well, at least now I know when I last played this game, isn't it? Well, you know, it is kind of like the default name, even though it wasn't technically the default name until, like, later in the series. And this is kind of later in the series, considering when the series started, you know. This franchise is literally older than me by a few years. This is but one of the legends of which the people speak. You ready for epic music? Epic story time? Long ago there existed a kingdom where a golden bower lay hidden. It was a prosperous land blessed with green forests, tall mountains, and peace. No, it wasn't. But one day a man of great evil found the golden power and took it for himself. I don't remember. Well, he does look like that in some games. But this is like a sequel to Ocarina of Time, sort of ish. With its strength at his command, he spread darkness across the kingdom, but we'll get into that after this. But then, when all hope had died and the hour of doom seemed at hand, cue the epic music. A young boy clothed in green appeared as if from nowhere. Da-da! I love this rendition of the Zelda theme, the main theme. Wielding the blade of evil's bane, he sealed the Dark One away and gave the land light. But Ganon didn't look like that in Ocarina of Time, though. This boy who traveled through time to save the land was known as the hero of time. See, that pretty much confirms it, Ocarina of Time. So why did Ganon look so different in this here? The boy's tale was passed down for generations until it became legend. I mean, that was Ganondorf, not Ganon, you know, like the pig form he takes on in some games. But then, a day came when a fell wind began to blow across the kingdom. The great evil that all fought had been forever sealed away by the hero. Once again crept forth from the depths of the earth, eager to resume its dark designs. The people believed that the hero of time would again come to save them. Look at those eyes. But the hero did not appear. And there's a reason for that, and I'll get into that, because I've been paying attention to timeline stuff lately. Faced by an onslaught of evil, the people could do nothing but appeal to the gods. In their last hour, as doom drew nigh, they left their future in the hands of fate. And fate was not kind. What became of that kingdom, none remain who know. The memory of the kingdom vanished, but its legend survived on the wind's breath. On a certain island, it became customary to garb boys in green when they came of age. Clothed in the green of fields, they aspired to find heroic blades and cast down evil. The elders wished only for the youths to know courage like the hero of legends. Epic intro that, isn't it? Probably, like, I don't know, I've only played a couple of Zelda games really, but it's one of the best. Outset Island with the awesome music incoming. Big brother! I'm pretty sure this theme right here, Big Brother, is definitely gotta be like some kind of remixed version of a different theme. I've noticed that with Zelda soundtracks. It happens a lot. I got a voice actor when she keeps saying Big Bro like that, because she's kind of like going, "Aye!" That face. That is the face of someone who has been woken up when they don't want to wake up. No! I knew you'd be here! You know, when I first played this game many years ago, I mean, look at that face. I can't remember what year it was. Probably, like, the last time I played it was 2008-9. But the thing is, I'd played this game at 3 different points in time. First time, I couldn't get past the first, like, dungeon area you go to in the game, because I sucked at stealth. We'll get to that later on, because it's kind of happens soonish, you know, when we get to that point. And I couldn't get past it, so, like, I didn't end up playing it. And then, like, maybe a couple years later, I just played it again, got through that, made it all the way till one of the last 2 dungeons, and got stuck on this one bit where you gotta use 2 items at once. Like, you gotta equip, like, a certain item while using another item. I didn't know it at the time, so then years later, which I'm assuming must have been around about 2008 or 9, when I played the game again, and completed it for the first time. So yeah, it kind of spanned a couple of years before I actually completed it. It was kind of on and off, so I don't remember what year I first played the game. But essentially, to get to the point is, like, heck, even when I freaking last played the game, you saw that, it was like 2008 or 9. It's like around about, like, late 2008 was when I, like, first, like, got the internet and all that. internet. So back when I originally played, I didn't have the internet. But apparently when this game was first released, there was a lot of controversy. People like, I hate this fucking art style. It fucking sucks. This isn't Zelda. And honestly, I didn't really say anything wrong with the graphics at all. I kind of like it, honestly. It's like kind of cartoony, but it kind of works. I mean, look at these expressions. You don't really see this much kind of animated expressions from the characters in most Zelda games. It's kind of neat. I mean, look at him. He looks genuinely surprised. While in, like, you know, like the more realistic-ish sort of kind of when they're like not going for a cartoony kind of feel anyway. Like, Link doesn't really have that kind of level of expression to him.
Hey, this is my favorite spot to gaze out at the sea when I play with the girls. I call it Aryll's Lookout.
I'm giving you a bit of frickin' Jovi voice now. I cannot escape that bloody LP now. I'll just, like, note to myself as well, I have put the game back in its case. Pokemon Extra Gale of Darkness is in its case. Pointing this out to future me in case I'm freaking like, oh, I must have put it in the Wind Waker case. Because I have a bad habit of putting games in the wrong cases. I'm sure many people are. It seems my nephew apparently does the same. Except, rather, he does the whole leave the game out of the case. I can totally remember my youth when I would do that. And then I'd wonder why. Man, interruption, my dad does not give a fuck. He's just pretty much like, more or less just barged in, sort of. It's like, oh, need to pay the bill for the internet because I'm paying for it. It's just like, god damn, man. Just freaking, it's just like, duh. First part of a new LP. Again, interruption. Just like old times.
And this is my favorite spot to gaze at. I already read that, shouldn't I? Yes.
You know, this is also one of the few times where Link actually has family members. That's another thing I like about this game. You don't see in other Zelda games. Like, I'd like played Link Between Worlds a while back. And actually played on the hero difficulty as well, which is like, I suppose, hard mode. It's not all that hard, surprisingly. You just gotta, like, learn how to dodge! And, you know, like, supply fairies and shit, and, like, preferably go to the dungeons that's, like, this one, like, water dungeon that's actually really easy, surprisingly, for a Zelda game. And you get, like, this, tunic that's, like, decreases, like, how much damage you get. Then there's a later one in the last dungeon as well for it, but that's, like, right at the end of the game. So if you get, like, both, you're pretty much, like, you still can get your ass kicked, but you just gotta be decent enough at dodging and have a decent enough supply of, like, potions, fairies and bottles and shit like that. But to get to the point, in that game, the game pretty much starts with just like, oh, Link has a nightmare, he wakes up, and like, his friend is just like, hey, you gotta freaking go to the blacksmith, which is my dad and all. Just like, he's got no family members, and he's just kind of shoved right into everything without really much of an explanation. It's like, yeah, you go do this, you do whatever. And there's like, oh, you're the legendary hero, are you? Oh, congratulations. Now go save the world. And he's just like, okay. It's like, just like, I kind of like how this one kind of deviates from that. It's not just like, oh, hey, you're wearing the green tunic here. Now, here's a sword, here's a shield, fuck off, save the world. I mean, we do kind of have that in this game, but there's more to it. There's more like, kind of a character development of sorts, you know? You don't really see it that often, so I like it. I haven't played the sequels to this game, but from what I've read of them, it kind of bugs me because there's apparently seems to like the sequel to this game, the direct sequel, apparently is like, uses the same Link, but most of the characters aren't even in it from this game. And then there's a sequel after that takes place 100 years later, so even less on that. And it kind of bugs me, because this game has a number of nice characters. But it's a shame that there's no, like, sequel that, like, kind of, like, has, like, all of them just going back for another one or something. I don't know. It's kind of fun.
So do you remember what day it is today?
And for more expressions,
You're still half asleep, aren't you? Did you forget? Big brother, it's your birthday. He's like,
oh, I have expressions. Oh my god.
that's why Grandma's been waiting for you to come back to the house. She's been waiting for a while now. It's a good thing I came to find you. You should probably go home and see what Grandma wants, don't you think?
You know what a random thing is, if you actually play through the game once and then a second time, her clothes changes to like this kind of purple kind of dress. I can't remember. I think the same with Link as well.
Hurry up, big brother. Grandma is waiting for you back in the house, and I'm sure everyone else on the island wants to say hello to you too. So, you know, take your time.
Oh, that's one thing that also bugged me about the final boss in A Link Between Worlds. What I hated is the bloody camera. I hated it. You know how, like, on the consoles, handhelds and all that, we have like the kind of, would it also count as an analog stick, or is that just a PlayStation thing? But you know how you turn it, but it's a lot smaller on, you know, handhelds. And look at that. It's like, oh my god, I am the most expressive Link that has ever been. Oh my god. But like, what was I gonna say? It's like it's really small, and it's not comes outward, so it doesn't give you enough range. So when I'm running around a room, for example, it's just like really awkward. And then like you've got like, it's always been the case with like there's been a button that does that, right? But when you're running around in circles, oh, that's a bad idea. You can't actually, well, you can swim, but you know, you can't stay in water forever, you know. Hey, even got water dripping. Look at that effect. Isn't that nice? But it's a pain in the ass because it wears your freaking thumb out. And I had the same experience with playing Skyward Sword. I still haven't completed it. I've like got through 4 dungeons so far. And the first boss was a pain in the ass. And this one fight with like 3 stealthers I found was a pain in the ass as well. Simply because I'm running around the room trying to get my bearings, trying to heal a bit. And trying to like turn around to face them, and they're right up in my face. Meanwhile, I'm running around with that crappy freaking nunchuck, just like, my thumb's wearing out, my thumb is slipping, and Link's like, whoa! But it's just hard to get your bearings because like your freaking thumb slips off the damn thing. I hate the Wiimote. Well, it's the nunchuck, but I also hate the Wiimote because they always tend to have, like, I mean, the keys, the boss freaking keys in Skyward Sword are atrocious. It's like, it's as if they're just like, okay, what we want you to do is maneuver this object so that it fits the slot in the door. But we're gonna make the controls so convoluted that's the equivalent of, like, literally just fucking your hands the hell up so that they're pretty much like barely usable, and just like, okay, now maneuver this Rubik's Cube like object into the door. And it's like, it hurts to move. Oh, it's flipped. Oh no, fuck. I can't get it. Shit. Just like all that for a boss key. It's just like the boss is a freaking breath of fresh air compared to it. Oi, Link, what's that? Today's your birthday. Well, congrats, buddy, and you're that old already. Wow, time just flies right by, doesn't it? You blink and poof, there goes a year. Why, I swear I just cut the grass in the field the other day. Well, look at how tall it's gotten already. It's just like, it's as if we step into houses and come out and it's suddenly grown back. Say, do you want to try cutting it, Link? You'd be surprised at the things people drop in the grass. It's fun, it's like a treasure hunt. Except you're gonna need some kind of grass cutting tool if you want to cut the grass. That's just common sense, buddy. That's another thing about Skyward Sword. I frickin' hate cutting grass in that. Because, you know, if you've ever played a Zelda game, there are plenty of things fun in a Zelda game. But one thing to do is to cut grass in Zelda games, but freaking cutting grass in Skyward Sword sucks. Because of the freaking motion controls. It just doesn't have that neat kind of control. You gotta do precise slices if you want to cut grass. And it sucks.
Hoi, Link! Hey, is it true that if you just have a little courage and run as fast as you can, then you can jump to that rock out there? How is it? Is it? Tell me.
It's actually I haven't played Breath of the Wild, but I think apparently they've got jumping in the game now, so it's not just auto jump. I think I don't know. I haven't played it. One thing that's it shouldn't really surprise me really, but it did. When if you so much as just Google Breath of the Wild and see the review scores, 10 out of 10 everywhere. It just boggles my mind. Link's expression there fits mine there. It's like, it boggles my mind, man. 10 out of 10 from everyone. I don't know, I just kind of find it weird whenever a game gets 10 out of 10 from everything. Skyward Sword, I noticed also had the same thing, and that game, to me, it doesn't really feel 10 out of 10, maybe 7 or 8. I haven't played all of it yet, but from what I have played of it, it's kind of flawed. It's like some of the controls could use some improvements, some of it's a bit tedious and repetitive, shit like that, but perfect 10, I don't think so. Whoa. That was totally a leap of faith there, wasn't it?
Wow, I hope I'll be able to jump like you someday, Link. Auto jumping, yay! Auto jumping. Auto jumping. It's always been a pain in the ass in the series, really, so if they fix that, then great. But from what I hear, there are some issues. I hear you can't climb when it's raining or something like that. I don't know. I haven't played it because I don't have the Switch or a Wii U. I just saw a wild pig. Oh, see, look, that black one there. Don't you see him? This is perfect. My wife was just telling me how she really wanted a pet. You ready to go grab it, Link? Now you can't just run up on it. Pigs are too alert about their surroundings for you to keep. Just jog up and capture one. If you want to get close to one, you have to hold R to crouch and tilt to crawl slowly up behind you. Slowly. You can also distract with beta, yes. Kind of reminds me of the bug catching in Skyward Sword, and I didn't like that because the motion controls, it took me a while to even get used to the freaking goddamn thing. This piggy right here will actually, he doesn't serve an important role, but you crawl, man. But he will have some relevance later on. You'll be noticeably different. I got the piggy! This was much easier than catching bugs in Skyward Sword. Oops. Sorry, piggy. I was trying to talk to that guy, but he was like, I don't want to talk to you. Pig isn't very smart. You think he'd be like, I'm gonna walk away from you. I got the pig, sir. What do you want me to do with it? I forget where your house is, sir. I think it's across there somewhere. Is it? It's been years. Oh wait, no, I think it might be up there. It's been years. Don't talk to me, old man. I know you want to talk to me about that whole targeting to speak thing. The only piggy that will do. Why did you bring that little piglet all the way here just for me? Oh, thank you so much. I've been thinking of getting a pet pig for a while now. The boys will be so happy when they get home. You sweetie. Okay, Link, hold out your hand. This is your reward.
I said something else. Red rubies? Well, it's a pleasant surprise this early in the game, but my god, I fucking hate rubies so much. In freaking Link Between Worlds and Skyward Sword, so many bloody chests you open up and be like, red ruby, and I'd be like, I don't care, man. Rubies are freaking useless most of the time. Give me something different. Pieces of heart, something. Heck, anything. But it's the same old shit.
Why, this little doll is cute as a button. You know, it's so cute that I wouldn't mind having even more of them. Any pig is cute as this one is welcome in my pen. You just go ahead and bring me however many you like. Piggy, 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 piggy.
You just get it.
Why did you bring me another piglet? Oh, were you all worried that this little guy would get lonely hanging out inside the fence all by himself? That's the sweetest thing I've ever heard. Thank you so much for bringing us yet another family member. Here's a little something for you. Another red ruby. If you find any other little piggies, you know where to bring them.
I think there's 3 in total. I think I might see one over there. Let's explore the island a bit more, shall we? Oh yeah, just remember this, like, oh yeah, timeline thing is remembered in the intro. I just gotta go on about that. So apparently, like, there's a split in the timeline after Ocarina of Time. Where it, like, goes, like, one goes to this game and the other goes to Twilight Princess. And essentially what happened with this timeline, that's, like, you know, Hyrule's pretty much gone now. It's below the seas, essentially. Just got scattered islands in this game. And the thing that happened is, at the end of Ocarina of Time, when Zelda sent Link back to the past so they could live out his childhood, the timeline in which that took place, where like Link had saved the world and then buggered off back to the past, this is the world we live in here. Zelda done fucked up. It's like, oh, I'm sure nothing bad will happen if we just send our freaking one and only hero to the past where they won't be able to come and save us if need be, or have descendants. Oh, I'm sure nothing bad could come from that. Zelda done fucked up, I tell you. What is that? No, still. There's gotta be another piggy somewhere. I distinctly remember there being 3 piggies. There he is. Hey! What a game, eh? Oh shit! I think you get back to land, right, piggy? You can swim. It's like, screw this shit, I'm going back home. How rude. I was just messing around and this freaking kid froze me in the goddamn water. He can float, or can he swim? Go for it, piggy! Swim! May take a while. Come on, piggy! Round 2, piggy. Whoa, gotta be careful around the bloody ledges. Like, I mentioned with like playing Link Between Worlds, like I was kind of reckless with the way I just run through ledges like that. Like even in the freaking ice ruins, which, you know, have slippery surfaces, I just casually just run through it. Here's your brothers or sisters. Look at that face, man. She even looks like that. Like, what? Oh, look at this one. You sure do know where to find the cutest pigs on the whole great sea. Hey, oink, oink, oink. Oh, now things will be ever so much more lively in the pen. It'll be like a big pig jamboree in there. Thank you so much. Jamboree. Oh, that's right. I can't let you leave without giving you a present. Happy birthday, Link. So you've got a total of 60 rubies. Total them. I guess I'd better think up some names for these little oinky oinkies, huh? What should I name these little oinkers? I wonder, can we go into the house? Only in video games does just casually going into people's houses make sense. Anything interesting on the walls? Nick the bottle, Link! Ah! No. I think you can move these, yeah. La 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 la. Hey, you're supposed to smash! I remember back in the day, just casually doing that. It's such a Link thing to do, you know, breaking stuff. Got the Triforce, I think, on the door there. See that ship over there? That's Beetle's shop. I think this was the first game he appeared in. Which makes no sense! This is so late in the series. Skyward Sword has a beetle. And, like, that's apparently, like, chronologically, it's like, in terms of, like, the plot and all that, it's the first in the series. So it's just like, what the hell? I mean, it's not the same guy, but you get the idea. It's weird. If you come across wild pigs, you've got to be careful not to scare them. What you need to do is open your heart to them. Yeah, you heard me right. For example, you can feed them bait to settle them down, or hold R and blah-de-blah-de-blah. Oh, and remember to put away anything you're holding before you press R to crouch. You can't be crawling around with stuff in your hands. Oi! Oi, Link, press L right there and use A to talk to me. Look at his head, man. That's correct, you're a smart one. You, my friend, have the L targeting me, you see. When you press L, you can target certain objects. I, for one, use it quite often to talk to folks who are far away from me. It's mostly because I'm too lazy to walk. Of course, even if there isn't anything around to target, you can press L to face forward. You know, it's quite handy indeed. There are myriad of other ways to use L targeting as well. Quite an ingenious little thing, if I do say so myself. Every time I hear that exact wording, I think of the cameraman from Earthbound. Of course, that's not the only trick in my bag, not remotely. I can teach you a few more things if you'll just climb up that ladder over there and drop by my home.
Oh, Link, happy birthday! Hey, did your sister Aryll find you? She was supposed to tell you that your grandmother's looking for you. Speaking of your sister, she saw me at work the other day and she said she wanted to learn to carry jars on her head like me so she could help your grandma with chores. So if you see her, tell her that all she has to do is stand in front of a jar and press A to carry it. To put the jar down, she just has to press R. We're breaking the fourth wall here. Can you tell her that for me?
Anything else?
The secret to lifting jars is to stand in front of them and press A, and don't forget to tell Aryll to the jars with R, okay? You know, if you roll into her, she will actually drop the jar, and she'll be kind of pissed off at you, but I ain't gonna do it. Kind of a dickish thing to do. Even though it's like a fictional character, you know, you shouldn't really give a shit, but still. I don't think Link will actually tell her. I'm just messing around for this first part, really. Bad. It's like, yeah, that ought to do it, isn't it?
Just like, oh yeah, that will make people interested in watching the rest of the LD, Watchtower and Forest of Fairies. Is there no way of speeding up getting up these ladders? That's one thing I kind of like with Skyward Sword, is that you can just like move the Wiimote and just like make it so you go up faster.
Hurry up, Pickwell. Grandma's waiting for you back in the house, and I'm sure everyone else on the island wants to say hello to you too.
I do not talk to you for things, well, it's because I'm a silent protagonist. He's got a scorpion on his back.
Whee!
You know, mentioned like Hyrule being flooded and all that, so it's like below the seas and shit like that, it's no more. But it's like, the islands are essentially all that remains, really. And I wonder where this island would be, because there's like two islands that are theorized to be like Kakariko and Death Mountain, but I don't know about this one. There's also like the forest as well, but it's clearly not this place. Maybe it could, I don't know. It's definitely not, because there's another area that kind of like resembles it in a way, but I'm rambling about stuff that we ain't even gonna see for a long time at this point.
Oh, look at that. It's another bloody red ruby.
I don't mind it as much right now, game, but if you get in the habit of just giving me red rubies, I'm gonna be pissed. Because I've seen enough of that shit in fricking Link Between Worlds and fricking Skyward Sword. I'm pretty sure Twilight Princess apparently also had a lot of rubies, but it's been years since I played that game. Might as well pick that up. Is this part gonna have any plot, or is it just gonna be me wandering around the islands doing random shit? Probably the latter. I will come up to talk to you, old timer, but first, this weird kid.
Your grandma was calling for you, Link. And so was my mom. So, what's for dinner at your house tonight, Link? Can you come up the hill later and play?
Jesus Christ, man. Do something. What a strange one you are.
Got snot all over my sleeves.
You're growing up, Link, which means you're going to need as much wisdom as you can get from this point forward. And if you want to be wise, you must first know things. Now, I was born before you, so I know all sorts of things. Yes, I've been studying all manner of topics for many years now. Now I can tell you are a smart lad. Lately, I've been thinking it's time for me to pass some of my wisdom down, and I think you're the one I'm going to pass it down to. Count yourself a lucky lad. Everything that you see tacked to the walls here is something that I've researched thoroughly. And before you ask, yes, I do know my filing system is art. Organizational issues aside, however, it's all extremely useful information. You would do well to read it all very carefully. Reading leads to knowing, you know.
Such a rocket, can't you keep quiet? You knocked everything off my shelf, you bastard! Rocket hooligan!
Honestly, the hooligan I'm referring to is my younger and much less intelligent brother who lives downstairs. He's studying all day, every day. Lout just exercises and practices with his weapons. Then he exercises his brain. No, the brain's a muscle too, I think.
Well, if you're so smart, wouldn't you know the answer to that? Anyway, the only thing he does study is the art of fighting. Right now, for instance, he's been studying fencing and whatnot. And if that's of any use to anyone, he simply doesn't know how to do anything besides exercise. I ask you, what's a brother to do? You're a smart lad, Link. You'll find that everything I've written down and tucked to my walls will be very useful in life. A lifetime of knowledge, all for you. You just be sure to take the time to read it all through very carefully. If you don't, you'll surely end up like that useless hooligan of a little brother of mine who lives upstairs.
Nice plants and stuff we got here. Man, look at the size of these books. How do you go about reading them? You're the same size as Link. Well, he's a bit taller. I mean, look at the size of that head. I think you may have the worst tumor ever, man.
Stanchions 1 point lesson 1, the energy of life. To be young is to know no limits to one's stamina. To become stronger, one must first know oneself. The heart in the upper left shows one's current life energy. Perhaps a fancier way to describe it would be to call it a life gauge. As one experiences trials and hardships in life, one will naturally gain more hearts. However, if one is injured and takes damage, those hearts will decrease. At such times, it may be possible to replenish one's health by cutting grass and finding hearts.
You know, if this was like true life lesson, just like the beginning of it all sounded all fine and dandy until it got to the hearts. But it's just like, oh yeah, it's a game, so we gotta explain it in terms that make sense of the game. But it breaks the fourth wall. Strategies 1 point lesson 2. Do not underestimate the sea. It's easy to get swept up by a little success at swimming. Wait, swept up by a little, yes. But the sea can be fickle. Swimming for too long will drain one's energy and eventually one will sink. And you know what that rhymes with? Link, ha ha ha. No, well, it does. Watch the round icon in the bottom right while in the water. This is one swim timer. It's a bit shit when you think about it. It's just like, you got a world that's pretty much just a freaking vast sea. And Link can't swim. Well, he can, but he can't swim for long. While in other Zelda games, where there isn't so much of that, Link can swim for days. It's just when he's underwater that shit can, like, you know, turn badly. One should be sure to get back to shore before one's swim timer runs out. If one doesn't, I can't be responsible for what happens next. Which is game over. Strategy 1 point lesson 3, the great map of life. As one is often hasty and acts without thinking when young or easy to get lost on one's way. It is at confused times such as this that one must refer to his or her area map in the lower left. The yellow arrow shows one's current location enlarged the map with the right, or the map hide the map with the left. The up in the top right portion of the area map indicates wind direction. Always remember that the wind blows in the direction of the arrow. Always. Noted. That's going to be a pain in the ass when we get to that.
So there's just 1 point lesson 4, material goods. The more things one tries to experience in life, the more sense-related belongings one tends to gather. And of course, with these belongings comes the need to keep track of them and keep them in good order. One need only to pause to see the items he or she has obtained.
Out of strict taste, I play cassette to use of wives units. For the quest status screen for its part contains vital items related to one's quest. It's possible to switch the screen by pressing R. Old man, this is boring. That is 1 point lesson 5. But I got this compulsory need to read through it all. Now, not to regret the things one fails to do in life, a very important lesson. There are many things one longs to do in the limited time one has in this world. Yes, and way not to regret things one might fail to do is to save. While one may feel invincible and wish to continue one's quest, one never knows when disaster or calamity may strike. If one's life energy is extinguished before one has had a chance to save, that one's life will have been lived in vain. It is a shame to regret the deeds one has failed to accomplish in life. Rest, start, pause, and choose save on either the item screen or the quest status screen. What, it just has the auto-save thing on this? I guess it does. Save wherever the hell you want, I guess. I'm not sure. I think it might not count in dungeons. I can't remember. It's been years. Sessions 1.lesson6, improving human relations. To improve one's relationship with one fellow beings, one must be outgoing and press A to speak to all people one meets. When one opens one's heart to others, others will open their hearts to return and offer wisdom on many important themes. If the person's advice is strange or cannot be understood, one should not feel shy. One should simply ask the person to repeat the statement by pressing A again. More often than not, if one asks politely, a person will say the same thing over and over again until the meaning is clear. Surgeons 1.lesson7, knowing one's own abilities. To improve one's life, it is wise to watch A and R calmly whenever one comes across a person or an object. By doing so, A and R will pass along wisdom regarding how one can best interact with their personality to know one's own abilities, know one's limits. This is school, man. Surgeons 1.lessons, lesson 8, change in perspective leads to success. The young often assume that they can see all that is before them, but over time they are missing out on a grander view. By using that control that is broken on my control pad to change perspective, one can often find oneself gazing upon sights and discoveries one never expected to see. Once one has seen all there is to see around oneself and determine an appropriate course of action, it is wise then to press L and take action. To get things at eye level, one should stop in one's time and press L and tilt it upwards. Surgeons 1.lessons, lesson 9. A fool and his rubies are soon parted. It's commonly known that he who makes poor use of rubies will have a hard life. Now that I'm remembering, I guess rubies actually serve a bit of a decentish role in this game now that I'm thinking of a certain thing later on. In order to fully enjoy a long life, it is wise to get rubies early and often, which I have done, so I've nearly got 100 rubies, and it's just the beginning of the game. Surgeons 1.lessons, lesson 10, becoming the champion of life. Learn all there is to learn in lessons 1 through 9, and no matter what happens, do not give up, do not complain, and do not stay up all night playing. But how can I become a master if I don't play all night? That reminds me, when I frickin' went for the 4th temple dungeon in Skyward Sword, I played it for frickin' hours. By the end of it, it was just like, man, my eyes are straining. You gotta like how Link just looks off at things randomly. Now what? That'll do for this part though, it's nearly 50 minutes. I'll record immediately after. Only side quests, I guess, were accomplished in this first part. It's kind of an introductory thing, but whatever. I shall see you next time, viewers. See you next time.